Hello, this is the Math Simplifier, and today I'll be teaching additional maths coordinate geometry. So let's recap what we learned in EMATS coordinate geometry. So we know a few things. First off, we know the formula of how to find a length of a line, which goes like this. Square root everything of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, where let's say I have a length of a line here. This is the first point, point 8, point 1, and this is the second point, point 2, where the coordinates are x1, y1, x2, x2, y2 respectively. We also know the formula of gradient, or how steep or gentle a slope can be, which goes m for gradient equals to y2 minus y1 out of x2 minus x1, or y1 minus y2 out of x1 minus x2. I prefer the first formula, though the second formula is also acceptable. Now let's talk about equation of a line, of a straight line in general, which goes y equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient of a line, be it a positive gradient or negative gradient, and c is the y-intercept. If you are still confused of what are the x and y intercepts, let me explain. So you got the y and x axis of a 2D dimension. Let's say I got this line here. The point that intersects the y-axis at 0 something is called the y-intercept, while the point that intersects the x-axis at this point is called the x-intercept, where the point can be something 0. Now, for a y-intercept, the x-axis coordinate is always 0, while for the x-intercept, the y-coordinate is 0. Keep that in mind. Now there is another way to find the formula length of the formula of a straight line, which goes like this. Let's say I know the gradient to be, let's say 2, and the y-intercept to be, and I don't know the y-intercept, but I know the point can be 1, 1. So I can write as follows: y minus y1 equal to m bracket x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are 1 and 1 respectively in this scenario. So we can first write y minus y1, which is 1, m is 2, bracket x minus 1 equal to y minus 1 equal to, expand your brackets, you get 2x minus 2, add 1 on both sides, you get y equal to 2x minus 1. And that is how you find equation of a straight line if you know your gradient and a point on that line. Okay, now let's talk about the midpoint theorem, which is AMATS. Let's say you got points, that's still AMATS I think, 1, 1, and maybe 5, 7. To find the midpoint, we must first identify the x1, x2, y1, and the y2. Okay, so the formula goes like this: x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Now, the position of the x1, x2 and the positions of the y1, y2 can be swapped because we are adding the terms. Swapping these two sets of coordinates does not change the midpoint of your line. In this case, it's 1 plus 5 divided by 2, comma, 1 plus 7 divided by 2 shall give us 6 divided by 2 is 3, 1 plus 7 divided by 2 is 4. And that's the answer for the midpoint of 2 points on a straight line. Okay, now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about gradient. Now, gradient, we do know that we have parallel and perpendicular lines, right? So parallel lines are like, if you recall back in primary school, have the same distance between them, never ever meet, which means in this case in coordinate geometry, the gradient are the same. You need to keep this in mind because it will be very, very important in A maths. You will encounter such questions where two lines are parallel, stated explicitly, obviously, or they are implied to be parallel. Another set of lines you must know is perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are where the gradient of a line goes like this. The gradient is m1 gradient, this is m2. So m1 equal to -1 out of m2. And if I cross multiply this, I get m1 times m2 is -1. So let's say m1 is to say 2, m2 shall be -half. Okay, that's your how you find the gradient of perpendicular lines. Now, back for this topic, you must understand certain figures, like trapeziums have one set of parallel lines, and let's draw a trapezium on below here. So let's say I got this trapezium. You must understand that line 1 and line 2 are parallel, so they have the same, you got it, gradient. Now I got a third line here, line 3. Now line 1 is perpendicular to line 3, which means the gradient of both line 1 and line 2 is -1 out of the gradient of line 3 because they are perpendicular. Understand? Great. Now another thing you need to learn about coordinate geometry is the shoelace method. Now back in Emaths, you will see simple questions like this, 3 points here, here, and here. And you can use the formula half times base times height to get your answer. But in A-Maths, it's not the case. They give you 4 or 3 points to work with, and they want you to use the shoelace method to find the area of such figures. It's very easy. As long as you don't make careless mistakes in your working, you should be fine. Let's say I label this trapezium. This is 0, 0, for example, the origin. This is 7, 4. This is 5, 6, and this is 2, 4, maybe. We don't know. Okay? Now, the method of shoelace method is simple. Pick a start point. Let's say I start from here. Okay? Alright, the formula goes half something coordinate, 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 and the very first coordinate you're using. So let me explain. So I will start from 0, 0, and we're not going in the clockwise direction. We're always going the anti-clockwise direction. So not from 0, 0 to 2, 4. We go 0, 0 to 7, 4. So 7, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, and then back to 0, 0. Remember, your starting and ending coordinates must be the exact same coordinate. Rule of thumb is, if you have a triangle, you should have 4 sets of coordinates. And for rectangles, trapeziums, squares, even rhombuses, you must have 5 sets of coordinates. Understand? Good. If you do not understand, please rewind the video a few seconds back to listen to what I explained. Anyways, let's do the calculations. So it goes, there will be two sets of coordinates. So the first one I'll go like this, where 0 times 4 plus 7 times 6 plus 5 times 4 plus 2 times 0. Okay, this is for the first set of multiplication, minus this. Don't you see it's a shoelace now? That's why they call it a shoelace method. So 0 times 7 plus 4 times 5 plus 6 times 2 plus 4 times 0. Because we have got close the modulus. Now, if you're wondering what the modulus does, it basically turns any negative value within the parentheses of the modulus into a positive number. Just think, if you're having depression, it make you not depressed, make you happy. Alright? So, let's do the calculations. Half 0 plus 42 is 42, plus 20 is 62, plus 0 is 62. So 62 minus 0 times 7 is 0, plus 20 plus 30, 12, 32 plus 0 is 32. So 60 minus 32 is 30. So you shall get 15. Now, you may be wondering, what do I put in the unit? If you say unit square, You got it. Units square. And this is how you find the area of any point, any 3 to or more sided polygons. Alright? Even you can use for 5-sided polygons. Okay? Believe me or not. But sometimes the question may ask you to find area of a triangle, not a trapezium, not just a rhombus, not just a square, not just a rectangle. Understand, everyone? Great. In the next series of this video of A-maths, I will talk about equation of a circle and maybe linear law. Thank you for watching, and this is the Math Simplifier. As always, ready to help.